Volvo semi-autonomous driving aid is called Pilot Assist, and the current version is called Pilot Assist 2 and came out in the summer of 2016. It works up to 140 kilometers per hour, and below 30 kilometers per hour it works as traffic jam assist. We all know that Tesla's autopilot is the best system out there, but how good is Volvo's system and how does it work? My name is Chris, and if you're new to the channel, I do car videos, so please go ahead and click that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. This is a 2020 Volvo XC90, and we're going to take this car out on the road, the motorway, a 2-lane country road, and also hopefully we'll get to drive in some stop and go rush hour traffic. But before we do that, I'm just going to show you guys how Pilot Assist 2 works here on this steering wheel before we take it out on the open road. Here on the left side of the steering wheel, we have the buttons for the Pilot Assist 2 semi-autonomous driving aid along with adaptive cruise control. You activate the system by pressing this middle button, and then you can also toggle between adaptive cruise control and Pilot Assist 2 by toggling right and left here. I'm going to show you in the driver's display there in a second what that looks like. You can also increase and decrease the speed by pressing plus and minus. Every time you press plus or minus, you increase or decrease the speed by 5 kilometers an hour. And then you have the distance setting here, which sets the distance to the car in front of you, so you decrease or increase the distance. So down there in the left corner, you can see an icon there with a steering wheel, and you can also see there are arrows on the right side. If I click to the right or to the left, I go to adaptive cruise control, or if I click to the right, I go to Pilot Assist. If I press the middle button to activate it, not available or unavailable, gear not in D. So I'm gonna click or tap the gear selector twice backwards, and then we are now in D. And if I press the button again, we are now activated. So you can see a few things down here. So you can see the current speed is 0 kilometers an hour. The set speed of the adaptive cruise control or the Pilot Assist 2 is 30 kilometers an hour. And then you have the speed limit, indicated speed limit is 30 kilometers an hour. You have a steering wheel there that is darked out, and you also have a bar between the steering wheel and that car in front of there. So if you click the distance button, you can see we can increase the distance, and then we get bars in between the steering wheel and the car. This is the minimum distance that is set at 3 seconds to the car in front of you, and for every time you click this, you add another second. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 seconds is the maximum. And if Pilot Assist 2 is engaged, that steering wheel will turn green, but of course we're now parked, so you can't see what it looks like. I'm going to take you guys on the road, and we're going to take a look at what it looks like. We are now on a normal 2-lane road, and then I'm going to click the button there to activate Pilot Assist 2, and right away it activates. And now we came to a standstill, and to go again, the car will now go. The steering wheel indicated there in the display is now lit, and actually you can do hands-free driving at lower speeds. We're now doing 37 kilometers an hour, and you can see it's not giving me a prompt to put my hands there. It's apply steering wheel. So I'm just going to give it a small nudge. But if you go slow enough, I think it's maybe up to 30 kilometers an hour, you can go basically hands-free. That is called the traffic jam assist. But we're now going 40 kilometers an hour, and it's now telling us to put our hands back on the steering wheel. So we're going to just increase the speed here, and then we're going to hit a roundabout here. So then I'm going to deactivate it by pressing the activation button there, the on-off button, but it can also touch the brakes to deactivate Pilot Assist. So out of this roundabout, we're going to just wait till the road is straight again, and then we're going to click that button again. And now Pilot Assist 2 took a few seconds to recognize the road here. And usually you have to have very visible markers on the right and the left side of the road. And sometimes if it's rainy, it's now dry outside, but sometimes if it's rainy, it will struggle to find the lane, and sometimes it won't even activate Pilot Assist 2. Now on a motorway, and it is here where Pilot Assist 2 works at its best. And where's the most comfortable, because this is boring and tedious driving, just going straight. Yes, the motorway does curve a bit, but it's mostly straight, and you can just rest your hands like this, giving the steering wheel enough resistance not to give you a prompt. As long as you have your hands resting on the steering wheel, it will do all the steering itself, and it keeps the car very centered in the middle of the lane, and it's very assuring. I really feel I can trust Pilot Assist 2 on the motorway. It does all the driving, and I know you're not supposed to check your phone, you're not supposed to write text messages when you drive, but this allows you to be less at a risk when you're distracted by your phone, because it is 2020. You will be distracted by your phone unless you hide it away in the center armrest or in the trunk. But this just lets you, drive more safely and more comfortable. It lets the car do all the driving. So the steering wheel is lit green, and we have a really nice stretch of motorway in front of us now. The car has no problems at all. 99.9% of the time it will recognize the motorway, and also the stripes on each side of the lane here. But if I do remove my hands from the steering wheel, how long does it take before it gives me a prompt to put my hands back on the steering wheel? So let's go ahead and see. And I also get everything up here in a heads-up display, because this XC90 is equipped with a head-up display, which is just beautiful, showing me all the information. And there, about 12 seconds it takes before the car gives me a prompt. It says apply steering, and we let it beep, and there it cancels after about 22 seconds. So yeah, you don't want to do that, but it gives you an audible sound to put your hands back on the steering wheel, and also the steering wheel goes from green to orange to red. When Pilot Assist 2 came out in 2016, it was one of the best systems out there, and it still is in 2020. I still prefer it to the systems from Audi, Mercedes, and BMW. But just around the corner with the third generation XC90, Volvo are going to introduce Highway Assist, an advanced driving aid using LiDAR cameras instead of the traditional radars. Hopefully they will be able to close the gap to Tesla, who still are the king when it comes to autonomous driving.